Hello and welcome back to the Puncher's Chance podcast, and welcome back to the preview show where we have a look at everything coming up in boxing over the next week. As well as that, we'll be doing a top 10 pound for pound British ranking, so stick around for that. Beforehand, it is of course Richardson Hithcins, George Kambosos Jr. in Madison Square Garden Theatre with Andy Cruz filling out the card as well. All of that good stuff. Subscribe for 2 podcasts every week, or follow us on Spotify if you prefer the audio episodes. All that good stuff. Straight in to the action. That's a tidy little fight, isn't it? Richardson Hithcins, George Kambosos Jr. Kambosos looked very impressive in his debut up at super lightweight in Australia. Richardson Hithcins has been impressive in his sort of meteoric rise over the last year or so. Without giving away too much in terms of predictions, what's this fight going to look like?
It's a hard one to call, I think, but I'm more excited to watch it now after watching Kambosos in his last fight.
Yeah.
I thought he looked, because, I don't know, it was a sense of, I think we said that before that last fight, it was sort of last roll of the dice for him if he didn't perform, but he's earned himself another crack at the big fight. But this is, we said it last time, but this is very much win or bust now for him, I think, in terms of the big fights he's going to get. Like, he's going to have to perform, and we've seen him perform and pick up big wins before, but he's going to need another big one this weekend against someone as well in Hitchins, who's unbeaten and has looked very good in every fight he's had.
Yeah, he's got big names, hasn't he, on his record? Lee Selby, Teofimo Lopez victories. Last fight, Jake Wiley looked impressive. Obviously, it wasn't the fight that probably boxing fans didn't want, but we got it in a way that we got excited about him at this new weight. And, you know, Richardson Hithcins, 19-0. Last fight, what was it? Liam Parrow. Great performance.
Gustavo Daniel Lemos before that. It was probably a slightly less impressive performance from Hithcins, particularly when we saw Keyshawn Davis knock him clean out, out around that as well. But Hitchins, he comes into this with a lot of pedigree, and it is sort of, I believe, hometown fight this is for him. I certainly think he's from around the New York area. He might not be from
Manhattan.
So yeah, exactly. He's from exactly where it is, in fact. It's hard to go into someone's backyard who's under a lot of confidence, is unbeaten, and get a result. But someone with a pedigree like George Kambosos Jr., you would imagine, is the kind of person that can do that.
Yeah. I think that win he had against Teofimo Lopez looks even better as well now after watching Lopez more recently. But I think it's just, yes, there's no doubt that he's got the ability to go there and get that win. It's whether he's too late in his career now, maybe, and has had too many of those sort of wars or big fights to get the win on Saturday. I think it feels looking at it, it's very much just been set up for Hitchins to, that this is his moment, this is his night to shine, but you never know with boxing.
I was going to say, how many times have you seen that go wrong?
Yeah, we've seen it
in the last 2 weeks as well.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. And in New York. So
it always does. Always does go wrong.
New York.
That card was God. Yeah. If nothing else, this can't be the worst card in New York this year, because that was a snooze fest. But yeah, Richardson Hithcins, he's a quality operator. I like him. He's confident. But on the undercard as well, you've got Andy Cruz, who we keep going back to. Our good mate Jared saying Andy Cruz, remember the name, basically. And every fight that goes on, that shout looks a little bit more impressive. And in this one, he's fighting for an IBF title, final eliminator, an IBF title that has just been vacated by Vasyl Lomachenko, upgrading, I believe, Murataya to the full champion, because he's the interim at the moment. That hasn't been confirmed by the IBF. But if you're the interim champion, that's how that works, you'd imagine. Yeah. And so, you're looking at what would probably be then a 7-0 world title shot. 6-0 if he wins this one. 7th fight would be his world title shot. That is...
He's in a tough fight, mind.
It is a tough fight. He's a quality operator, Mishiro, the Japanese fighter.
Yeah, he is. Coming off a stoppage when he is. But Andy Cruz, ever since we had Jared next door talking to us about his fights to watch out, and he identified Andy Cruz as one of them, we've all kept a close eye on him, and we can understand why he said Andy Cruz is the name to watch out for.
He was a quality amateur, but what it was like I was saying in the last episode, he's actually adapted so well to the professional ranks. He's got that Cuban
style though as well, still.
Yes, but he works with who is it? It's Ennis's father, I believe.
Boots Ennison.
Yeah. I think it is. I can't remember. He fought with somebody's fight, and he basically said, "I'm a good boxer. Show me how to professional box. Show me how to sit into my shots. Show me how to, And he's got a couple more stoppages in his last sort of 3 fights. I think he opened with 2 decision wins, and that's kind of what you need to do because he's got the, like you say, the Cuban style, but he's got the ability, hasn't he?
I think it's good, like you said, it's shown that he understood that maybe there's certain flaws in his sort of boxing ability that he wanted to brush up on turning over as a professional. So it's not just a sense of, I was really good in the amateurs, I beat everyone in the amateurs, I won a gold medal, I can just do the exact same thing. And so it's good to see that he's sort of looked to perfect his art in a different sort of way, and like you said, add that sort of power punching and being able to sit down, because I think you need it, as well as sometimes boxers who, especially with a sort of amateur style, will be very good at fighting on the back foot behind a jab. Sometimes you get dragged into a bit of a dog fight, or you are backed into a corner and you've just got to scrap it out every now and again. So the ability to have that and to be able to understand when to just plant your feet and punch your way out of trouble, I think can also be a big benefit as well.
Well, it's like we saw with Ben Whittaker, Liam Cameron. In that first fight, Ben Whittaker was laying off some great shots, but actually it got to a point where Liam Cameron realised he could probably walk through those shots, and then he started to cause Ben Whittaker problems. And if you don't have the power in your shots, and it's not to say you don't have the power in your body, but you're not mechanically bringing in the power into those shots, then you're not going to be able to stop them. You're not going to be able to slow them down, and they're just going to walk through it. And over the course of 36 minutes in the ring with them, the chances are they're going to land one shot that they need to land. And we saw in the rematch, Ben Whittaker, presumably with Andy Lee, has been working on that exactly, being more of a boxer-puncher than a boxer. And he got a comfortable, stoppage win in that one. Andy Cruz has done the same thing. He's a phenomenal boxer. He always will be. He will not lose that ability, but he does need, and he has worked on, and sometimes looked less impressive than other times. But in his last performance, he looked very, very good. And you'd imagine, again, not to write off his opponent, but you'd imagine he's just going to make that step up again, right?
It's a good step up, I think, this opponent that he's got in front of him on, Saturday night, Sunday morning for us. I think it's the sort of fighter now where we can, like you say, he's adapting to like a new style, and let's see how he puts up against someone that is going to come to win. And the other thing I like now about Andy Cruz, I don't know if it's his actual Twitter account, because Twitter is that space.
I believe
there.
It is.
He's just a lot more
vocal,
and he's calling out Keyshawn Davis.
Well, he's beaten 4 times the amateurs, so he's got that kind of
exactly, and it's great to see, and you want that. And for someone that's 5-0, we're talking about in his 7th fight, knocking on the door of a world title fight. It's incredible, and for someone to have that, and yeah, he's just something special. And I think it's something with the Cubans, though, ain't it? That it's like the Eastern Europeans, they're so good in the amateurs, and it's the same with Cubans. They're so good, and for him to carry that over and, like you say, adapt to a new style of a more fan-friendly sort of fighter where he's coming and he's sitting down on his shots a lot more. Yeah, I'm excited to see him back out there, but it's a good step up, and I think it's a smart step up as well, where we're going to see now how he goes up against an opponent that's going to come to bang as well, and it should make for an interesting fight.
I'm already looking forward to the day where they have him and Keyshawn Davis in some sort of unification world title
It
fight.
will happen. It will almost certainly happen.
It will happen. They'll make the fight and then they'll get to the weigh, and then Keyshawn Davis smiling like he did last week and missing weight and all that probably.
Quite possibly. We'll move on to the predictions at the end and maybe talk about anything else on that card, obviously a Matchroom card. But before that, because it went so well last time, we got on so well after it, we're doing another top 10 rankings. This time it's the UK.
I've literally just come out of therapy from that.
Pound for pound.
After you boys went, Zhang and Hrgovic.
Oh, that was that.
Thank you to all the people on the comments, though, that said Zhang and Hrgovic
I can't believe you got some support.
Or your burner accounts.
Yeah. I've been banned off TikTok because I
So for those of you who don't know how we do this, we work down from 1 to 10. We agree on every one along the way. We cannot disagree. We have to settle on it before we can move on.
Are we going to point out what Ben's done, though? Ben, can you say to everyone what you've done? You haven't ranked them.
I've just got a list in front of me at the minute, but
Just vibes. Bro's gone on vibes. I respect it.
Yeah.
Number 1 ranking.
Start us off.
The main man himself, Triple D, Dynamite Daniel Dubois, is my number 1 ranking. If you haven't already, check out the interview on the channel. We got an exclusive interview with Daniel in his camp, watched him train, all that good stuff.
And especially watch it at the end as well, because there's something incredible that happens. So I'm just go and watch it.
Yeah. For those in the audio version,
Yeah.
I just recreated the embarrassing handshake that me and Daniel shared. My mum very kindly analysed the handshake and reckoned it was his fault.
It's a talking thing. When you go to a boxer, do you fist bump them or shake their hands?
I used to always fist bump, but the problem with that is after a fight they quite often have sore knuckles,
Yeah.
and so I stopped doing that and I started going for the handshakes.
I did a mistake. I did. Moses Jolly, heavyweight boxer from Wales. I went, good luck, Moses. Fist bumped. Ow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
it's
I can understand
difficult.
why you went for the handshake.
I went for the handshake.
Formal environment you were in with obviously Gareth A. Davis and all, so you just wanted to fit the mood in.
Yeah, I just wanted to be professional, but Daniel was.
I agree with
What can I
Sam. I've got Daniel Dubois as my pound for pound number 1 British boxer.
What about you, bud?
I've also got Daniel Dubois.
This is
I think
good.
it's fair enough. He's a world champ. We haven't got a huge amount of them. He's done it at heavyweight. He's beaten another brilliant Brit
Yeah.
en route.
Who could be in this list?
That is probably enough to do it in terms of who he's beaten. Jarrell Miller, Hrgovic, obviously not a top 10 heavyweight, but a decent heavyweight, and then
And there's
Anthony
talks
Joshua.
about him potentially causing a massive upset by beating the pound for pound number 1 fighter at the moment.
I think you lot are changing your tune, because I got nearly laughed off the podcast when I suggested he has a better chance than Fury about a month, 2 months ago.
He's not beaten Usyk.
I think he's got.
I'm sticking to
Hang on, can I?
If you had to put a percentage on it,
a commit from the commercial side of things? I think he's got a puncher's chance. Daniel
good.
Dubois.
Percentage, put a percentage on it.
I think Daniel Dubois has got a better chance of stopping Usyk.
Do you listen to?
Listen, I've listened to the interview.
We've got Keir Starmer in the chair here.
Yeah.
Canal, give us an answer. Come
You
on.
would be a fucking brilliant politician.
I give him a 40% chance
That's steep, I think.
of stopping Usyk. Do I think he'll do it? No. But do I want him to do it? Bloody hell yeah!
I want him to. I really want him to.
For British boxing. Now imagine that.
It would be brilliant.
Imagine Daniel Dubois, someone who everyone talked about quitting just a couple of years back against Joe Joyce, and he's now their undisputed heavyweight champion.
Yeah, beautiful stuff. Next up, number 2 on the list
Who's going?
for me.
No, who's going now? Because you went first, so I think we should.
I'll just.
Okay, go on, Ben.
Well, my number 2 sat over there actually.
Literally, same with me.
Is it the same with you as well? Have you got yourself on the list, Nick Bull?
Yeah.
Nick Ball, number 2.
I'm close between Nick Ball and Anton Kakachi for 2 and 3.
Ooh.
Fair enough.
I've sort of just gone for them as the top 3 just because they're the world title holders.
You've missed one.
Who have I missed?
Embarrassing. We'll get onto that later on.
Yeah, go on.
We'll have to have a think.
Nick
just
Ball.
fester in your
Yeah.
in your
Who
embarrassment.
have I missed?
Actually, well, technically, I don't think he is. I think he's technically an interim.
You've missed an
but
interim.
You've missed 2 interims.
I'm not talking about interims. I'm
Fair
talking
enough.
about world champs.
He's WBC then.
Both WBC.
Nick Ball, yeah, number 2. I think, yeah, he has to be number 2. I think this is where now we're going to start having different answers.
I think Nick Bull, there actually could be an argument that he would be number 1 in terms of who he's beaten. If you take the fact that he did beat Ray Vargas, he has beaten Ray Ford, he has beaten TJ Doheny.
Who's got the better record in the last 2 years then? Dubois, from wins points of view now, Dubois or Ball?
I would say that Vargas, Ford, Doheny are probably better fighters than Hrgovic, Miller.
Because what we've seen with Hrgovic and
Miller, AJ, probably.
Yeah.
I'd say.
Nick Ball going into that Ray Ford fight was an underdog with most people.
Yeah.
And I think most people were expecting him to get beat to that point.
And he did beat Ray Ford.
He should have become a unified world champion against Vargas and got absolutely stitched of that.
So I think there could be an argument for Ray Ford. I'm not saying we're going to change Nick Ball. I think is my number 2. I've put him there because just,
No,
the
I think we hold
Dubois
Dubois
effect.
is knocking
but,
on the door of a
yeah.
undisputed though.
Incredible.
But it's just interesting. Number 3, this will be interesting. Who have you got, Ben? I shouldn't have gone to Ben because
Carl
he does.
Smith.
Okay, so that's the other interim.
Hamzah Sheeraz, I've gone for
That
number 3.
high.
I know. like I said, my list is about. At the current moment, I can understand why you're going that high. But if you look into the future,
Well, that's what.
Do you know the annoying
if
thing
I
is
was
that-
looking into the future, I'd have Moses Atoma atop.
Yeah, of course you would.
yeah.
But,
no,
um,
but can I just point something out then? My number 3 is Sheeraz, but my number 4 is Callum Smith.
Okay, my number 3, Tyson Fury.
I haven't got Tyson Fury on my
He's
list.
retired. I was
not.
going to put this in the. I put
He's
that in the chat
not.
last night. That Tyson Fury. I'm not putting him in there. I'm not even talking about him because he's retired at the
Okay,
moment.
what ranking was he in your heavyweights?
I didn't have him in my rankings
I'd
because he
put-
was retired.
I'd agree putting him in 3, but I haven't put him on my list. I
think he has to be in
Have we
3.
got- This is brilliant. We're only on number 3, by the way.
He has
We're
to be in
already.
three.
if we're including him, I was
Getting
gonna
violent, flipping the chair.
if we're including him in the
Chisora
list, then he
over it.
goes 3.
Oh,
There's an argument.
He's not officially retired.
he's like,
Well, yeah.
Okay.
Are we going from
Hear
a
me
certain
out.
point?
Vasyl Lomachenko is no longer on BoxRec. Tyson Fury is. So the people who make fights for Tyson Fury
They know he's.
haven't taken him off BoxRec.
Yeah, we'll have to go February 3, won't we? If we put him on the list, he is 3.
I'm not happy with it, but okay. We'll go for a retired
Probably
Tyson
an
Fury.
argument that he's higher, but
Yeah, but he's not a current world champ.
no.
So I've got Anto Kachache as my number 4.
Oh yeah, I've put him a bit low.
I'd have him
down.
about 5 or 6.
Yeah, I've got him at 7. But no, my number 4,
Callum
like I
Smith,
said,
Scorpio.
Callum Smith number 4. I've got.
Brilliant.
What a performance against
Yeah.
Joshua Buatsi. He's knocking on the door of a world title.
It's
Canelo
difficult.
Alvarez has got.
I was going to say his only
Yeah.
losses come to Canelo and Beterbiev, which is so it's difficult to.
But those
place
losses again, though, you go. Fair enough.
Yes, you do,
As
but,
expected.
But are the win? I'm trying to pick out a win in my head that goes, yeah, that's the big win that puts you there.
I think all I'm going off is that
Lee Wood,
he's-
Joe Cordina, Josh Warrington. That's 3 former world champions.
that are in his list.
I think.
Because he's
if you
gone
want
from the
Cal-
retired point of view.
If you
Tyson
could
Fury.
somehow put Callum Smith up against them, I think he beats them all.
Callum Smith against David Benavidez. Who wins?
I think Benavidez is the favourite in that fight. He's too big.
Because it would be stateside, that fight.
Sort of light heavyweight. If he was fighting a light heavyweight, I just feel like Callum Smith, I think, would be the best opportunity that Britain would have of beating Canelo.
Yeah. Is Kachache... Well, Kachache is a world champion, if you're taking the IBO, if you're counting it. Not really. But he was obviously IBF
I
world
will not
champion.
argue against.
It's difficult.
Kachache fourth.
But you guys have him lower down, so we're going to have to go
yeah.
for Callum Smith. He's
Yeah.
on my list, Callum Smith.
I'd have Kakachi 5th. Then
Yeah,
Are we happy with that?
I can back Kakashi.
So we're going
fifth.
Callum Smith 4, Kachachi 5, which puts who as your number 6?
Galal Yafai.
Galal Yafai. Another WBC interim champion.
The thing is, I
beat Sonny Edwards, an out-and-out world champion in his own right.
Well, you fight quite high, but like, I'd also really want Moses at all on the list.
Give it a rest.
Into he is out and out boxer. He is one of the
Okay.
best the country got.
Why was he not ranked above AJ in your heavyweight rankings? If he's below
he
AJ, if
was-
he's above AJ in your British rankings.
I did put him above him.
Ah,
didn't I?
you too.
I don't know.
I'm sure I put Moses above Fury, above
I don't know.
Joshua.
Just
He's
stirring.
stirring the pot, yeah, mate.
Yeah.
Like, come on.
I'm sure I. Yeah, I'm sure I.
Galal
put him,
Yafai 6.
Go on, I'm happy to go
Yeah?
with Yafai.
I've missed a massive name here, Mike.
I'm not-
And
I'm not gonna
I'm not
mention the
naming
former.
who I've had next.
Okay, when are we putting, to go back to Hamzah Sheeraz?
I'll put. Oh, are we? Oh, okay, I'm going off. I would have put Hamzah Sheeraz 6 then and put Galal Yafai 7.
I don't think you can.
I think.
Yafai's got an interim world title, Hamzah Sheeraz doesn't.
I think Yafai.
What's he
will
fighting
win a
Belanga
lot of
for?
world titles.
The
Interim? Is he fighting for an
Just
interim
fighting
belt?
for a
Big payday.
yeah.
Okay.
Yafai
All right, then.
6, Sheeraz 7.
I'm happy with that. What have we got so far?
I was gonna say, this is impressively civil so far.
Yeah, what have we got so far though? Because I'm looking at my list.
I've got Dubois 1,
Yeah.
Nick Ball 2, Tyson Fury 3, Callum Smith 4, Kachachi 5, Yafai 6, Sheeraz 7.
Dalton Smith 8. I've gone for.
I'm really struggling between Dalton Smith and Adam Azim. I feel like I need to see them both fight first before I can put
About Lawrence Okoli.
What?
He's a two-way division champion.
He hasn't been a cruiserweight champion in years, and Bridgerweight doesn't count.
And he lost to Chris Smith, who is number 9 in my list.
He did. But I do have Lawrence
No, we're not
Okoli as
doing
my
this
number
again.
8.
We're not doing this again with Lawrence Okoli, mate. We can't.
You can't be putting Lawrence Okoli above Anthony Joshua either. Who wins, Anthony Joshua or Lawrence Okoli?
Anthony Joshua.
Thank you.
Pound for pound. Who's
Anthony
better?
Joshua.
Nada.
Anthony Joshua is a 2-time world champ. He could still win another world title.
Yeah, Okoli's a two-weight champ.
But you can make the argument, though, that...
He could be a Bridgerweight champion.
You could make Bridgerweight.
There's not enough of them. I could.
Oh, my God. Let's not bring size into this now, boys. It was going well.
A few weeks of dieting. And
Okay, the Dalton Smith shout is interesting because Dalton Smith is who I made room for. I got rid of.
I feel like Dalton
put
Smith
Lawrence
and
Okoli
Hamzah,
in.
Like, you can't separate
You got
them.
rid of Dalton Smith over Lawrence Okoli.
Yes.
Okay, that's interesting.
The reason
I feel like Azim and Dalton Smith are more likely to win a world title than Okoli is.
Dalton Smith over Azim, I think, because Azim's got an IBO, so he hasn't really got a world title.
So
Dalton Smith
Kachachi,
has the British, European, WBC silver. Kachachi was an IBF champ before he vacated.
The record that he's gone through the fighters.
And beat
No,
three.
I'm happy
he's
with
beaten
where-
3 former IBF world champions.
Yeah.
All right, we'll go Dalton Smith. Then Adam Azim.
Are we going Dalton
Adam Smith? No, Adam Azim, I don't think
Azim's
should
not
be
on
in the
my
list. Do you know... So that's 8, yeah?
We'll pencil it in.
My number 9, Chris Billum Smith.
See, I've got Billum Smith at 10
Ooh, okay. We can work with that.
I
with
didn't even have him on my list.
Joseph Cordina in at number 9.
I won't have Cordino.
I don't even... The 2 Welsh boys haven't got Cordina in
Hear
there.
me out. A 2-time world
I
champ.
can't believe you haven't got Sam Noakes.
He's got
not
Sam
won
Noakes in
enough.
his list, haven't you?
He's not won enough yet.
Have you got Sam Noakes in your list?
I would have had Sam Noakes above Cordino.
Joe
At
Cordina's
the minute.
But his only loss comes to Kachachi, who you've put in at number 5.
And that was a dodgy loss.
And it was there was some dodginess in that loss.
I think it's just because we haven't.
Shakur Steven cancelled on him, so that's not his fault. And he is a former world champ. Sam Noakes, Dalton Smith, Adam
Is it not?
Azim, any of those guys haven't fought for a world title.
Is there an argument for Fabio Wardley to be in here somewhere after this weekend?
No.
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 Sorry, Fabio, I did try.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I appreciate it. I'm sure he
Well,
appreciates that.
I think Billum Smith at 9 is good. Because then at least we got to talk. We can get another 10 minutes out of 10.
I do love Billum Smith, but Mateusz Masternak as your best win
is that
and a loss to Richard Riakporhe isn't a great career.
But he revenged that, though, didn't he? Avenge it.
Yes.
In his home stadium
No.
in Crystal Palace.
Oh, yeah, sorry, in Riakporhe.
Are we
yes.
not giving Anthony Joshua a shout anyway?
I think it's controversial that we're not putting him in there.
I would be, I'm just saying.
I just don't think... I love Billum Smith, but the Mateusz Masternak with a broken rib...
Why can't we do top 15?
I was buzzing for him at the time. That's just because you want to get Hrgovic in your list.
Jack Catterall as well.
Jack Catterall, horrible to miss. There's so many fighters that are
We've missed.
brutal to miss out. Sam Noakes, I really wanted to get him in there. I couldn't do it.
Eubank Jr.
But you could technically-
Number 2 according to box, right?
Yeah,
You could put you back. The
No.
thing is, though, we have put a retired boxer in
no,
our
we
top 10.
haven't.
He will fight again.
I know he will, but technically, he's retired.
But technically he's not.
He's not.
If I tweet out now saying I'm retired from podcasting and then release an episode an hour later, I'm not retired for that hour. Because that episode's already scheduled. They know what they're doing. This is hard.
So what are we looking for? 9 and 10?
Between 9...
I'm struggling with that.
9 and 10, we're between
Billum Smith.
Billum
Cordina,
Smith, Cordina, AJ.
Wardley, Atangma, Azim,
Oh, God, he hasn't even got a Toma in. Oh, God, I hate
Eubank Jr.
It's ridiculous that Thomas not in this list, but I'm not going to make.
Who's he beaten to deserve
He
it?
beats every single person on his list.
Prove it.
Obviously he will. He beat Nick Ball. Poor sod, you can't put him up against.
Doesn't beat Daniel Dubois.
Pound for pound,
Doesn't beat Daniel Dubois right now.
I think he does.
No, he doesn't. No,
Clip
he
it.
doesn't.
Do you know
think
the
he
clips
could.
that he'll get out of
Definitely
us?
could.
Yeah, he could. He could.
Just speak into that camera and say now that a time.
I think Atoma could beat Daniel Dubois.
Mental work.
Do your work, Sam. Do your work.
Daniel, I'm sorry. I'm really sorry.
I'm not saying he definitely will beat him.
Yeah.
Dubois is very good, but could beat him definitely.
Yeah. I think that. I think Chris Billam-Smith's got to go.
Okay, yeah.
What on the list?
As in, got to go off.
Oh,
I
yeah.
don't think he can make the list.
That's
But
fair.
with that being said,
I'm not going to protest like Ben is about the timer. So
it feels harsh putting Dalton Smith on there when he hasn't won a world title.
I
When
think
Chris
Anthony
Billam-Smith,
Joshua's gotta go on this
when
much.
Chris Billam-Smith has won a world title. Do you know what I mean?
yeah,
Yeah,
But we got
but-
Hamzah Sheeraz as well.
Does Dalton Smith beat? I don't even know who the WBC super Devin Haney.
Puello?
Is it Puello
I think it's Puello. He's meant to be fighting.
or is it Haney that got his?
Who's more likely to win
I
a
can't
world
remember.
title though? Now Dalton Smith or Chris Billam-Smith?
Well, it doesn't matter now. That's not fair,
Billam-Smith?
is it?
Well, yeah, if you go in,
Yeah, but that's like
Because he'll
saying
fight Badu Jack.
the new age got no chance of winning a world title in his next fight.
no, in terms
Because
of
he's already
who
got
do you
it.
think is more likely to go on to
But I'm
win
not
one?
looking at the future. I'm looking at now. I live in the present. I agree. I think AJ's
Needs it
got to be on there.
10. Billam-Smith 9.
No.
No.
Why are you trying? Billam-Smith's not going on the list. I'm
Okay.
sorry.
All right.
Are we going AJ 9?
I'd be happy enough to go AJ.
But we got Dalton Smith at 8.
Oh, that's outrageous. You can't put Dalton Smith above AJ.
Do we
or
put Dalton Smith
AJ and then
9?
Dalton Smith.
But yeah. Okay.
AJ's a
But
two-time
then who's
world
10?
champ.
But can you put Anthony Joshua behind Hamzah Sheeraz?
I'll just keep pushing him up.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
Put him in number 2.
it's just so difficult. But he did lose his
Listen,
last fight. He lost to a world title
he's-
holder.
if-
So did Sheeraz. He's on the
back
slide.
end, but they're on the up. Is my
If we
argument.
didn't have Fury in this list, it would be a lot easier now.
No, it wouldn't.
We would have
We'd still
already
have
been-
problems,
we would have
because he'd
already
just be
done.
shoehorning Natoma in even more, and I'd be back in the Okoli beef.
So what ones have we got left to fill? 10.
9 and 10.
9 and 10 still. Oh my
Got
god.
Cordina, Dalton Smith,
Callum Simpson.
Callum Simpson. No.
No.
Technically, though, Dalton Smith's only a year.
He's a European
WBC
British
I
silver.
silver.
call Cordina's a world
Same
champ.
as-
Cordina's a
Palace.
2 times former world champ.
Yeah, you could put Cordina on it. He's still got the ability to go on and
At
win a
9.
world title.
Cordina at 9 or 10.
9. Smith at 10. Dalton Smith at 10.
Yeah, we'll go Smith at 10 then.
How are we feeling about that?
So what have we got as a 10?
Do you boys want to read this out? Because obviously I got pelters last time.
No, go on.
Go on.
You're best to do
I'm
it.
best to do it. Okay. The official Puncher's Chance top 10 UK pound for pound list. Number 1, Daniel Dubois. Or do I do it the other way around? 1 down, 10 down?
Yeah,
Probably.
do 10 to 1.
Yeah, a bit more expensive. Sorry guys for listening to the podcast, but you got to do some stuff for the YouTube shorts. Let us run. The official Puncher's Chance top 10 pound for pound UK list. In number 10, Dalton Smith. Number 9, Joe Cordina. 8, Anthony Joshua. 7, Hamzah Sheeraz. 6, Galal Yafai. 5, Anto Kachachi. 4, Callum Smith. 3, not retired, Tyson Fury. Number 2, Nick Ball. And the number 1 pound for pound champion, Daniel Dubois, the IBF heavyweight
I'm actually
champion.
not too mad with that list.
I think we
It's
did
all
right there.
right. It's all
We're
right.
going to get pelters for it, but...
Do we know gloves?
Especially after you've
No.
just done that. with-
Done this?
Yeah.
Sorry, I just sore shoulder. I was just stretching. I think we did all right there. You know,
People are going to argue that we've missed so many names, or some are higher than others.
he's going to get his burner accounts. Go, where's Hergovich? You not put Zilly Zhang in there?
I got banned off TikTok for doing that. Mine apparently you can't set up 6 accounts in one day.
Yeah, as it should be.
Yeah.
as it should be. The predictions to move on. They aren't on the Boxing News app.
They're not.
No, they're not.
Whoever
It's a
is at
shock.
Boxing News.
What are they doing with that?
Let him
go on his rant.
snoozing. They're sleeping. They're asleep at the wheel. It's unfortunate. So we're gonna do from Ernesto Mercado up. So Ernesto Mercado 17-0 versus Jonathan Montrell, 19-3-0.
For some like
It's
North
a
American.
super lightweight IBF North American. It's a difficult test.
Mercado points.
Ernesto Mercado, I can't remember who he won in his last fight. Was it Jose Pedraza in his last fight? Yeah, I'm going to go for a knockout win for Ernesto Mercado. I seem to remember he's got a really impressive knockout rate, and you've just made a tit of yourself, but I might be wrong. I think it's like in the 90s. I think he's way up.
See, if I was... Because Ben's
Are you
looking on his
suggesting you
phone.
don't actually know your boxing? That you're just
I'm going
you
to
just
change
read
my
things-
prediction.
No.
Yeah,
No,
Mercado
you can't
points.
change.
All right, Mercado points.
You're saying that you just read off the Boxing News app?
But are you... What's his opponent? Are
Why
you going
did-
against your theory, though?
Is Jonathan Montrell, is he Argentinian?
16 knockouts and 70 wins.
No,
Mercado
he's
knockout.
American. It's fine. How many? 16 and 17? Yeah, I thought he was.
Mercado knockout.
Wow.
Unlucky.
That's embarrassing. You'll be fine. Don't worry about it, mate. You lose any week anyway.
We put Fury in our top 10 British pound for pound fighters.
Alexis
and that.
Barriere versus Ronnie Hines for the heavyweight. Interesting. That's Alexis
Is that
Barriere is
on
the
this card?
yes. Alexis Barriere is the Canadian heavyweight, I believe.
Knockout.
Ronnie Hines is an unbeaten American with just a draw.
Knockout.
2.
Ronnie Hines.
The American.
I don't care about the predictions now. I've been shafted here.
Pure head loss. What are you doing cheating?
No, it's a different.
Hang on a
it's
minute, what's he
different
doing?
card.
Yeah, Alexis Barriere, Canadian.
12-0 against 14-0-1.
Yeah. Look at this. Look at these. They don't even do research before the episode. I had a 2.5 hour drive this morning, and I've still done my research. My laptop was in rice for the last 12 hours because I spilt tea on it.
Hang on, this is
for the last
Thursday,
12
though.
and I've still done
This
the
is
research.
Thursday, though, we're doing this, remember?
Yeah, I've still done the research, mate. You need to step up.
Yeah, and a good buy.
I know all about Ronnie Hines from Cleveland, Ohio, USA. Is he?
Last fight was at the ECW arena in Philadelphia.
Yeah. Well, there you go.
Nice.
We can all read box track, mate.
Yeah.
What's your prediction?
The Canadian guy by knockout.
Well, I thought you said Ronnie Hines by knockout.
I was...
I'm joking.
yeah.
Alex Barriere
Yeah.
by knockout.
Yeah.
Hines knockout.
Hines knockout. Is that just your breakfast tomorrow then? Is it?
Yeah. Just because he fought in the ECW arena. So I'm backing him.
In Philadelphia.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Andy,
Philadelphia, very much a big boxing city as well. So,
and it's another thing you can have for
You know,
breakfast as well.
you
So
know. Rocky Balboa.
Andy Cruz, 5-0, fighting versus Mishiro for
Cruz
the
points.
lightweight IBF title final eliminator. Andy Cruz point.
Yeah.
I'm going to go
Cruz
for an
points.
Andy Cruz knockout. I think under Bozienis, he's going to put on another quality
Is
performance.
it 10 rounds or 12 rounds?
12 rounds.
Okay, I like that.
Well, he made 10 rounds for his debut, didn't he?
Yeah.
Andy Cruz, which is quite impressive. Richardson Hitchins, 19-0. George Kambosos Jr., IBF World Super Lightweight.
Go first.
All right, so I didn't know you were
I
presenting
just gotta get in before him because he's
I
gonna...
didn't know you were presenting this.
first.
Yeah, it's fine by me. Richardson Hitchins. Stoppage.
Stoppage.
Ooh, I like the boldness of his last two predictions.
Yeah.
I'm going to disagree.
As opposed to the baldness of his.
I'm going to disagree, but I'm going to say Richardson Hithcins gets a wide points decision win.
Fair enough.
George Kambosos split decision.
Ooh, I like it. A split
I like
decision in New York.
Can I just say, when we don't have the Boxing News app, we actually make better predictions, I think.
Yeah.
That's because
I'm just going
you
for-
just read the percentages on there and see their knockout percentage and just go for that.
I've gone for the prediction that makes me look very smart if it comes off.
Didn't you
Okay.
say that, though, with Devin Haney and Ryan Garcia?
What did he go for?
I can't remember, but he said something.
No. I'm pretty sure I went for the Haney. But I did say it'd be really funny if Ryan Garcia beat him.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Anything else to talk about maybe quickly? Vasily Lomachenko retired from the sport, obviously. Brilliant fighter,
Will
like we
be
mentioned.
One of the greatest boxers ever.
Yeah.
The one thing I don't understand, though, people online are saying, what? How can you say he's one of the greatest boxers of all time?
Brilliant.
He's, for me, one of the best I've seen.
Was he undisputed at any point? I don't think he was he?
No, he was the fastest to win a world title,
Yeah.
fastest to win two in two-weight classes, fastest to win three in three-weight classes.
Yeah.
I just
I think
remember.
he'd done it all in 11 pro fights.
That's
I remember
not
when
bad
he
going.
fought Luke Campbell.
I was going to say, I think Andy Cruz is maybe coming for that
Yeah.
that record pretty soon. But
When he fought Luke Campbell, and I remember rushing back from Newport County, we were playing like Forest Grove Rovers, and we're rushing back to watch him.
fair
That's how
enough.
special
Yeah,
he was.
he's a
Come-
quality fighter.
Comes back to our Olympic argument, mind. Obviously, massive amateur background, done very well. And speak about Andy Cruz, possibly breaking our record, 2 of the same mould, really. So
They get a fast track ticket, don't they? Amateurs, when you think about it, if they do it right,
to a degree.
In a way,
to a degree, it's like the.
Well, they've earned their stripes in a way.
Galal Yafai, is he?
He was an amateur. Yeah. He was Olympics.
Because I feel
he was the fight. The other. He was the second of the Tokyo group to go win a world title after Lauren Price.
Was his professional debut 10 rounds as well?
He also fought for an international. Yeah.
So, but they're at that level where they can do it.
Yeah. It's almost. I almost find the ones that take a step back and start building from scratch struggle a bit more because they lose that.
I feel like
if you're always in competitive fights and you've never had those kind of tune-up fights, mentally every fight's a war. Whereas it might be more tiring and it doesn't have the longevity, but in terms of progression, I think if you can skip out that gap,
you see
do
that
well.
mostly with medal winners, don't you?
Yeah, it's weird though because it's like if you got knocked out in the quarterfinals, then it's like, oh, you need to fight a journeyman in your pro debut. If you get knocked out in the finals, it's like, oh, well, maybe he can fight for a title in his debut. And actually, particularly with amateur boxing, the difference between those two things can be
especially when it comes
minuscule.
to Olympic judge scoring.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, let's not talk about that because
we could
for another 20
absolutely
minutes.
all day. Other than that, I think that pretty much wraps up another episode. Let us know how you thought we did on the pound for pound rankings. Let us know who we missed out. Let us know who we put too high. Whether Moses Atoma should have been in there, Sam Noakes, etc., etc. Lawrence Okoli, somebody back my beef, please.
Chris Burnham-Smith.
Other than that, like I said, check out the interview we did with Daniel Dubois. Quality interview, if I say so myself. And also, he's the heavyweight champion of the world. If you haven't seen that interview,
and he's wearing the t-shirt
check
and
it
all with
out.
the Brooks on there. Are we getting commission off Brooks for this podcast?
Yeah, where's our fucking trainers?
Yeah.
What
the hell?
You wouldn't use them anyways. Anyway, thank you all for tuning us in. Follow us on Twitter, Spotify, Instagram, TikTok. Ben's doing lovely stuff on TikTok. There you go. Got the shout out for you. Thank you as always. We'll see you all next week. Get the fuck out of here.
Leave that in.
Punches chance. Punches Chance Podcast.